right from my childhood, I should say this one way or the other. Somewhere within me, I always want to meet something which I cannot grasp. I always want to meet something that I cannot control, because all the things that normally people struggle with came too easy to me. But when I came here last time and this whole thing exploded on me, I didn't want to believe what I saw. It's just incredible, 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 that's all I can say. It's too incredible for any sensible man to believe.
Something's not right.
Tomorrow is a free day. That means from day after tomorrow, we're going to take complete charge of your life. From day after tomorrow, when you wake up, when you sleep, when you go, when you eat, when you pee, everything will be taken charge of. Because once we are on a different kind of terrain, you just have to go by instructions. Right now you're in a city, it's up to you. What you do tomorrow,
We are in the land of mysticism. Nepal is, at least at one time, was wholly dedicated to the mystical aspect of life. This is an experiment where they tried to make the whole nation into a tantric body. They tried to use the whole geography of the land to create like a body with all the chakras established. Going to Kailash, always in India it's been considered as it must be written somewhere within you for you to go. Not everybody makes it. So I want you to understand the significance of being there, approach it with right sense of receptivity. If you want to just enjoy the natural beauty and come, that's fine with me, I have no issue about that. But it would be nice at least if you fathom a little bit of what's happening there in your experience, because what's happening there is way beyond anything a human being can think. It's too tremendous. If you're open to it, it's just too immense. Almost, starting from the first one, almost every yogi who had something to give and he did not find the people to receive the kind of volume that he had, naturally went to Kailash to store his knowing, that place. So this is absolutely incredible place. It is the greatest mystical library on the planet. It is the greatest mystical library on the planet. There are many small libraries here and there, but this is one place where saints and sages from every tradition went and stored their knowing. Some of the greatest Buddhas, well-known Buddhas have gone, the Jain Tirthankars have gone there, the Bon religion, they've been there, and the yogis, almost everybody has been there. And from South India, at least 5 of the 9 mosques, 5? 5 or 6 of the 9 mosques. So, to store. They always choose those kind of rocks which are of very high density, so that they allow least amount of movement, least amount of change over a period of time. Another reason why they chose caves and forests and mountains is, it's always… they want to be into the earth because it's easy to preserve their aura and energy so much more easily than in a wide open space. They always want to be in an enclosed space so that they can generate something and hold it within themselves and outside of themselves. They created cocoons of their own energy, which is a world by itself, which is a powerful field of energies, and it's a cosmos by itself, I would say. Most people cannot understand how a man can live in a small cubicle for his whole life. He's not living in a cubicle. As far as he's concerned, he has created a whole cosmos for himself, and he lives in that. To be like that, you need an enclosed space. The best thing is something which is into the earth. So you can't dig into the earth like this, so they always went into like this, which was naturally the mountain. That's why always the mountain and caves. So it's an incredible place. You don't have to try to imagine things, you don't have to try to see things. If you have devotion, it's fine. But don't try to see things, don't try to see Shiva in the clouds. This is a common thing that's again and again been said and written. We went to Kailash, we looked up in the clouds, we saw Shiva and Parvati, and of course the bull was there. So it's not about projecting your images into that, just being receptive to what's available there, it will be a tremendous possibility. Don't make it up within yourself. If you build yourself up, oh, beings are going to come, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, you'll just become too hallucinatory. It's very easy to become hallucinatory at high altitude. Yes, really, it's very easy. Don't think that's the reason why yogis chose the mountains. Let's break it now, because morning, 5 o'clock. Okay, thank you. Normally, every year about 35 to 40 deaths happen in Kailash. So normally big groups when they come, regular understanding in Kathmandu is, okay, they'll leave 2 or 3 people and come. I don't intend to leave anybody there and come. We will be stepping into Tibet, that's another story. When you come to the mountains, suddenly the body strongly is reminded of its mortality. So the reminder of one's mortality has always been the fundamental force behind human search for something beyond. So always the yogis chose to be among the earth, to be surrounded by earth, constantly. A physical reminder that you are just earth and nothing else.
I am amazed. Now I understand why mountaineers want to keep coming back.
Hello?
It is fundamentally how you keep yourself mentally which gets you across. Physical bodies, all of you may not be fit enough to do this kind of trip. Each time you open up and understand that you're going to one of the most sacred places on the planet, most significant place on the planet, your little difficulty is if you puke your food, it's okay. That will save you from going to the toilet. For many comforts that you're used to in your daily life which are missing right now, don't miss it just because there's no toilet or there's no hot water or there's no this or that. All our lives we've had those things. These few days, don't give yourself to those things. And one more thing is, wherever we camp or wherever we go, we must leave the place cleaner than when we came in. I think we wanted to leave at 12:30. If we can keep that schedule, it'll be good. Okay, let's get going. Thank you.
Mala, please go to car number 50.
Get it. Send one person here into this car, if you find like this.
What a pilgrimage means is, this is to wear yourself out. This is the reason always temples are built right on top of the peak. Because by the time you reach there, your body and mind should be destroyed. You go there and flop, something tremendous happens to you. This could happen to you anywhere, but in a space like Kailash, it must happen to you. But we are not making you walk that much. These damn Toyotas, too comfortable. So, if we had walked all the way, by the time we reach there, all the pride we had in our body and mind would be gone. So, when you're driving, you're not driving, you're sitting. Be like the driver and think that you're driving and just be alert to that. Just think that you're driving it. If you have to drive, you have to remain constantly alert. The terrain is such, challenging terrain in terms of driving. So right now, don't waste this opportunity. Mountains are reminding you how small and insignificant you are.
No room for me.
So there's no room for you? Is there a room for you? Okay, I'll give you 226.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are here in Saga for acclimatization. You must at least 3 times, you must do this 30 minutes walk.
We're getting acclimatized for Kailash.
And one more thing is, don't keep your stomach empty, even if you don't feel like eating.
You move into your rooms, put your stuff. We need to guide them to the dining.
Nobody leaves the town and walks in the mountains. Within the town, you just walk up and down in the streets. Saga, explore Saga, but don't leave Saga.
So we're in Tibet. Tibet is, we can say, is a kind of an experiment, which is to some extent worked. There have been large tracts of India which did this way back, converting a whole land where the primary focus of people is just their ultimate well-being. Immediate well-being is treated as a not so important aspect of one's life. Have any questions?
I'm not very receptive. I'm scared after making this hard trek at the Manasarovar.
Who said it's a hard trek?
Sorry. I've heard you say that.
That is just to lower the registrations.
Seriously.
Otherwise there would be 1,000 people here today. Even when you go back, keep it up. I somehow made it, I don't think you can do it. Please keep that up, we don't want 1,000 people registering. So what is needed for any human being to make himself receptive? I started with this, just sit like this is a cinema theatre. But you didn't sit, you wanted to be spiritual. And all spirituality just went over your head. I gave you an easier option, something that you're used to, because you can't do something that you don't know, isn't it? So, your receptivity, don't try to be receptive. You can't try to be receptive. If you try to be receptive, your mind will become overactive, isn't it so? Overactive mind cannot receive anything. Now you simply drink the mountains, drive the car. That'll be your preparation. We'll do something else as we go up. We'll do many levels of preparation so that you're more receptive. We will create certain sadhana to make you more receptive, but the most important thing is that you're reminded of what is the nature of your body constantly. That line or that space between life and death is narrowed when you come to the mountain. So they always chose to live in the mountains because they want to be reminded constantly so that their spiritual search doesn't waver at all.
As I come away to the peacock call, fluid sounds in my ears, I open my eyes and look at the ceiling. It has become like the open sky, all blue. The floor being my choice has always been blue. Oh, look, my tongue, blue, blue, blue. If I bleed, I'm sure it will be blue, blue.
It's been a dream to drive through this kind of terrain. Last time when I came and saw the highway being laid, my heart sank because all the beauty that you're seeing around you may not exist for too long. Because the place is so rich with mineral resource. Many people believe that the future economies of the world will be driven by resources from Tibet and Africa and Siberia. All the beautiful hills and mountains that you're seeing around you, their lifespan may be another 15, 20 years, because they'll all be dug up very soon.
I had expected a lot of things from this trip, but the fact is that this last satsang with Sadhguru, it gave me much, much more than that. And of course, the views.
This is like a dream come true. An adventure trip with Sadhguru, right? How often do we have that? Tell me.
Again. 6 tents.
Sadhguru, I just have a small doubt. This whole universe is Shiva. Why do we come to this particular place to just see him? The whole universe is made just him.
You need an incubator to hatch. You need something to crack the shell, otherwise you don't.
So that's why we come to Kailash, for that.
Because you didn't do it in the programs. We're putting you through a tougher grind. Don't the doctors try out like this? Initially a mild antibiotic, if it doesn't want a stronger one, a stronger one, a stronger one, just like that.
So this is the ultimate.
No, we got more. No, if everything is revealed, you will understand everything according to your understanding and then nothing will work. Right now, you think everywhere there is Shiva and it didn't work, isn't it? It's not worked. If it happened experientially, it would have worked miraculously. But it's somebody else's idea. Somebody said everywhere there is Shiva, you picked up that idea, it didn't work for you. So one possibility, one dose which could have worked wonderfully has been wasted. So the next dose should not be revealed to you, it must be injected. Otherwise it won't work. Everything will go waste. That's why I keep on saying, never read any spiritual books, because all the possibilities you will destroy intellectually. Any one of them could have worked for you if it was given to you at the right moment in the right way. But because you think you know everything, nothing works. Clear the cars, everybody sit down, arrange the microphone. So, like Janani was saying, Shiva is everywhere. Why should we travel this far to meet him? Yes, it is true. He is everywhere. If it is everywhere, why go to a particular place? Because it takes high altitude to melt you down. That means sea level, you won't open up. What you call a Shiva, if we have to translate to English language, we can say it's grace. Grace is not in any one place. Like gravity is not in any one place on this planet, grace is not in any one place in this cosmos, it's everywhere. But are you capable of receiving it everywhere? Can you be worshipful in your toilet? Why not? Some time ago when I said this, there was a whole lot of uproar and people got very upset. When I said peeing is more important than prayer. Now I'm not trying to demean prayer. All I'm saying is, if you are capable of bringing that quality into every aspect of your life, if you are there, that's different. If you could be worshipful to just everything around you, if you could receive everything as the ultimate around you, if that was true, your life would be something else altogether. There would be no room for fear, there would be no room for frustration, there would be no room for insecurity, there would be no room for anything. For different things to flower, you need different types of atmospheres. Some places have the necessary intensity and necessary focus of energy. To make certain things happen better, it does not mean it cannot happen somewhere else. Why do you go and pray in a temple? You can pray in your toilet. No, because temple has been created with a certain focus, a certain atmosphere where it's… to come to such a state as prayer within yourself, that is a place where it is easier for you to get there.
Hello. So, if we want to make use of the space where we are going, it's extremely important, absolutely important, that from this moment onwards, you examine yourself and see what is true for you, really what's true for you. Forget your religion, Forget what your parents told you, forget what I have told you. Just see what is genuinely true for you.
When you learn to keep your own ideas and emotions and thoughts and opinions aside and do what is needed in the world, that is a spiritual process. For most people, spirituality is just an entertainment because they only talk about it. If you have at least a moment experienced something that you think is worthwhile, you must pitch your life for it. So if you have any sense in your head, whatever you feel is worthwhile, don't do what I think. Whatever you feel is truly worthwhile, you pitch your life for that. Otherwise, what's the point living here?
Straight.
To see these people, you know, these small hamlets that we pass through, these people who live here, they have no even the basic facilities that we have. I was even asking one of the Sherpas whether they move out during the winter time. They said no, they just stay here through. They are self-sufficient in terms of everything, right from fuel, they use their own, you know, everything. They're self-sufficient.
This is not just a water body, it's a tremendous phenomena, so we'll set up a certain process. Till then, nobody touch the water, nobody enter the lake. We will set up a certain process so that you'll be receptive to what's happening there. This is not just another body of water, this is something else.
I don't know enough English words to even describe it. I don't know any words to describe it.
It's very emotional. I'm finding it a little hard to speak right now. I don't know. I'm just amazed that I've come here in the presence of Sadhguru. I just can't thank whoever it is I need to thank for this moment.
You heard of Tethys? Tethys Sea is generally held as the very crucible of human civilization. It is believed that everything came out of it. So this Tethys Sea, because of movement of the continental plates, got pushed up
There are three small remnants of Tethys: the Caspian, the Aral Sea and the Manasarovar.
Just about a year ago when we came here, it was one big surprise. In many ways, I was coming to a point in my life, or I had come to a point in my life long ago where it's almost like nothing can surprise me. Just about when you're about to believe that everything worth knowing has been known, suddenly a whole new dimension pops up about which you're clueless.
One thing is clear here, this we are 100% sure, is there's a tremendous amount of activity in the lake. And this activity is… the nature of the activity is such that it has nothing to do with anything that we know as life on this planet. It's something totally different. It's life, but not the way we know it.
Last time we made experiments here. Just as an experiment, we set up one body and set up this body like an invitation. And they didn't even hesitate for a moment, they were on. When this was set up and when these beings entered, they're in bunches, they're not individual. When they entered the system, I thought, let me restrain them for some time and see. Just held them down for a while and, enormous amount of temperature was created.
I was asked to lie down in Shavasana. It was like a 1000-watt electricity just passing through me. And after that, what I felt was something was placed on my head. I really had no idea what it was, but it was extremely hot to the point of discomfort that was placed on my head.
When I just opened her up a little bit and set up a situation for that, they just simply rushed through her system in such a violent way, entering through the Swadhisthana and leaving through the Sahasrara in a brisk moment. I knew that if we restrain, it'll generate temperature and it could cause damage to the person's body. So we kept a bowl of water just above the head when the person is lying down, just about 6 inches away from the head. Within a minute's time, this ice-cold water was boiling. If that bowl of water was not there, her head would have been scorched for sure. It could even destroy the system completely. So we don't wish to do such things. That time we came and it was such a surprise and we had to know what it's about. I wouldn't call Manasarovar a spiritual place because spirituality is out of human being. These beings, if you can call them that, they don't belong to anything that we know as life. So for now, due to lack of words, we'll call them beings. Their nature is nothing to do with who we are and what we are, on this level at least. So this is not really a spiritual place, but somehow life from somewhere has chosen this almost like an airport. They're just landing, taking off, at a tremendous pace. And this pace, we noticed last year, just takes on a real, like a peak hour pitch between 2:30 a.m. and 3:45 a.m. It's almost like clockwork. We noticed it just for 2 nights, but I'm sure it's happening every night. They seem to be simply behaving out of tendencies without any conscious intent, but at the same time, they seem to know all the aspects of how a human being operates. So such energy, such beings, or whatever you want to call them, they cannot go without influencing us in so many different ways, probably in a very fundamental way, which somehow humanity is unwilling to acknowledge for whatever reasons. But I was just looking at this in a certain way. The Hindu legends and the yogic legends, both of them claim that Shiva was self-created. That means he just happened. That means he had no parents, he just happened. I'm just wondering if he was one of them. It's just conjecture. But when I look at the way the man lived, the way he revealed life like nobody had ever done ever before, the depth of everything that he has done, it's possible that he could have been one of them. A man like him, who in his own time was worshipped as a god, at least there must have been a grave. Maybe he left with them. Because India is a place where they preserve their graves forever. Yogis who died thousands of years ago, still their samadhis are maintained and kept. Why wouldn't they keep Shiva's samadhi? This is all conjecture. There's no fact to support this. This is just crazy. This doesn't stand to any reason. Why for millions of years, one particular spot on the planet has been used by life which doesn't belong here? Why? And why the same place? And why for so long? Kailash Parvat. It's just about 10-15 kilometers from here as the crow flies. Two such very large phenomena could not be happening in such a small geographical space without being somehow connected. My experience or my knowing or my contact with beings which do not belong to this realm, I've been there always. Every yogi is aware of these things, but never have ever imagined that it can happen in this volume. Yoga can be transmitted on many different levels. One is towards one's physical and mental well-being, or it could be transmitted as a tool for ultimate well-being, or it can be used as a key to open up the mystical dimensions of life. Whenever I have any kind of encounter with such things, I've always found them very shy. This is the first time I'm seeing they have simply no qualms about it. In fact, they're eager. That's why I say this, that they must have a role in our making, otherwise they wouldn't be so eager to be involved.
Shiva Shambho, Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho.
Before we move to Kailash, I think it's good if we look back and see what's been the significance of being here at Manasarovar. I don't want to go about describing what's happening because it'll just fire up imagination and throw your perception off gear. It's better, you don't see anything, it's fine. It's good you don't see anything. You start seeing things which are not there, that's dangerous. Of course, the pilgrims who come here, they have their own stories, every day they will see Shiva coming out of it, Parvati coming out of it, all those things. That's for the Indians, and if people from outside come, they see many other things. All these things that they're seeing, one thing is it may be just cultural. But when I just stand there and look at it, whatever imaginations they may have may be corrupting their vision, but I think everybody who came here saw something they were not able to decipher, so they use whatever is in their mind, they just put that picture into that, what's happening there. But it's not happening without substance. Something is happening, nobody can go untouched by this, nobody. There is no way one can go untouched. The water is just electric. Temperature-wise, what do you think it is? 1 degree? I don't know if you noticed, there were cubicles of ice floating on the edge. It's just 0 or just over. That's not a comfortable place to be for anybody. But many of you, if not all of you, many of you are absolutely comfortable in that kind of temperature. That doesn't happen in normal water. Today morning I put those 4 people in the front and because of their particular condition, whatever. And I think 2-3 of them really went into tizzy today. You noticed there were 4 people lying down in the front? Maybe if one of them shares their experience, it would be good.
ப்ராசஸில் இருக்கிறப்போ ஏதோ கண்டினியூஸாக என்கிட்ட வந்து போகிற மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு. சில டைம் பார்த்தா நிறையா பீன்ஸ் மாதிரி நிறையா பேர் இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருந்தது. கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக என்னோட பையன் அந்த லேக்குள்ளே போகிற மாதிரி அந்த மாதிரி.
Since yesterday they've been tugging at my ring finger. When I look at that, this ring finger, I can open up the whole cosmos if I have the time. It's just a question of time. This is the very key to the whole existence. A human system has been built like this, that an access and a key has been given to us, that if we are willing to use it, we can open up the whole cosmos with this. This I believe is essentially human. If some other form of life knows about it, either they have a role in making us, or they know what we know somehow. Or maybe we came to know of these things much later than them.
or maybe it's one of them who taught us all this. The more and more I look at it, it looks like it's one of them who taught us all this. Now I am sounding like a UFO freak. I don't like this. So whatever you see, whatever you experienced, not only here, right through this whole spiritual journey, whatever you have seen and experienced is of no consequence unless it can leave a transformation in you. You saw God, so what the hell? What about seeing God? If it doesn't leave you in some way transformed, you saw God or devil, what difference does it make? You saw God, I saw a banana, what about it? You think it's any less? When you're hungry, you will realize which is more. So whether it's at Manasarovar or Kailash or Isha Yoga program, that's all that's important. Is it in some way leaving you transformed? Is it in some way making you into your higher possibility? Or are you just the same fool talking about fantastic things? That's the big difference. Today is Guru Purnima. It is a fortune today that we are here, which is the place of the Guru, the Adi Guru. In the general Hindu tradition, the Buddhists, the Jains, all of them have held this as a very valuable day.
Let's go, let's go.
Shiv Shambho.
Shiv Shambho.
Shiv Shambho.
Shiv Shambho.
Shiv Shambho, Shambho. Shiv Shambho, Shambho. Shiv Shambho, Shambho. Shiv Shambho.
This whole area, from Far East Asian countries to the Indian subcontinent, to the Central Asian countries including Russia and all this, and even in spaces as far as Middle East, in all these places, Kailash has been held as a very sacred space for centuries.
So, I want you to walk with that sanctity, with that reverence, that you're putting your ugly boots on Shiva's face. But it's okay if you walk with the right sense of devotion in the offering, but don't walk blatantly. That's not a space to walk blatantly. One will pay for it.
So the Hindus consider it as a abode of Shiva. You must understand, when we say Shiva, we are talking about two different aspects at the same time. Sometimes we are referring to Shiva as the yogi, the Adi Yogi. And sometimes when we say Shiva, we are talking about the ultimate nature of the existence. The word Shiva literally means that which is not. So why is that which is not so important?
Shiva Shambho, Shambho, Shiva Shambho.
That which is not comes into your focus only when you start seeking your ultimate well-being. When you're seeking immediate well-being, that which is very important. Today, modern scientists, one part of it they know, the rest of it they believe, that the core of every galaxy is a huge space of nothingness. And slowly it is sucking the universe in. It's from this understanding we are holding Shiva as the highest possibility, because ultimately everything gets sucked in. If you get sucked in willingly, then it's the most blissful experience. So, modern science is slowly coming to terms with Shiva.
The first time that you saw Kailash, that's the southern face. That is Agastya's. So, Agastya Muni deposited his work into the southern face. Everything that you learn as Isha Yoga is just a small part of his work. The Buddhists believe that nothing else in the whole existence reverberates with as much vibrance as Kailash. So they say this is the axis of the universe. In yoga, human spine itself is seen as the axis of the existence. A human being has this possibility that he can become the very core of the existence itself. It looks different from the surrounding mountains. It could have risen from a deeper part of the earth, which can happen geologically. Or many people believe that it's a large meteorite. This movement of this continental plates could also have brought this up. Shi in Sanskrit means Shakti or the energy. Va means to have mastery over. Shiva is one who has mastery over the energy of the existence. Shiva has always been seen as the greatest yogi, absolute mastery over everything around him. So here when we say Kailash, we are talking about the yogi who did not find anybody to deposit his knowledge in. So he chose this particular peak. The idea of giving you a glimpse of something is so that you'll have the sense to work for it, create the necessary strength and system within you where you can receive and experience and live in ways that human beings have not even imagined. You must understand, when people came in the past from South India, they walked. I want you to just visualize yourself. From Coimbatore, you walked to Kailash, did the parikrama and went back to Coimbatore walking. I just want you to visualize what it would take. Even when I walked the spiritual path for 3 lifetimes, I did everything a man can do, every kind of hardship. I've been to many truly sacred places. I've been to many truly powerful places. I've seen many powerful beings. When I bow down to them, I'm genuine, but I bow down to them a little less than I would bow down to my Guru. When I bow down to Kailash, I bow down to him the same way I would bow down to my Guru.
Never before I've done that in my whole life. That's all I can say.
If you're a seeker, it's everything.
How beautiful upon the mountain are the feet of the messenger. This has been the journey of my life.
It's vibration. Still, I'm feeling the vibrations of Kailash.
Just 2 weeks before, my friends who did Manasarovar, they came from Sinikot and they spent for 7 days, but they could not see the Mount Kailash. But we were so lucky that we saw all the time Mount Kailash, from Manasarovar. For last 4 days, we saw all the time Manasarovar. I was very amazed and impressed group.
Hope you really carry a little bit of Kailash with you in your heart and your mind. If you keep it alive, it can bring about a huge change in the way you live.